Just an overview. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build up the reputation of the brand and capabilities by extracting business value from technology. It's the first thing we're going to do, gain value from technology side. Then we're going to go into the streams of work. We're going to look at services, look at trends a little bit, and then kind of dive into more of a product side of that to try to add a little more value and just sustainability there. And then finally, our destination with the momentum capabilities that we brought up. Our final destination would be to sell the company.
You might just plan on using the keyboard.
Back one. You did. Okay. When it comes to GreenEcho's reputation, the title GreenEcho is very apt because just as an echo bounced off the walls and goes in all kinds of different directions, so does GreenEcho's reputation. I don't think I'm taking a large leap when I say that GreenEcho is unfocused in their message. GreenEcho is very opportunistic. Whenever you guys see an opportunity to walk through a door, you do it. I personally think this strategy is awesome, but is it sustainable in the long term? How are you going to compete as you get larger whenever you don't differentiate yourself? We recommend that you partner with IBM specifically, but basically a large tech company that's on the bleeding edge of technological innovation. We want you to take this esoteric tech, this new innovative tech, take your jack of all trades experience, skill set, experience, and business connections. Once you take all this, go to various corporations, find the business value in this new technology, and basically become the face of innovation. We want you to be seen as the leaders in this innovative technology, and hopefully this will increase your reputation, increase brand equity, and when it comes time to sell, you'll be in a better negotiating position.
Okay, so for the streams of work, you guys are obviously in the service business, but for service, we're just saying the answer. The IT consulting industry, it's known to grow over the next couple of years. I think it's an average of 2.7% annually. But we're just saying follow trends. Everybody's going to say follow trends. But not just following the trends, but stick with what you're doing right now, along with following the trends, and you should be good. Especially in big data, cloud computing, mobile-based services, AI, anything like that. Don't change the company drastically, but just follow the trends, be competent in them, keep doing what you're doing.
All right, and so now on to the product side. We kind of developed an idea of a do-it-yourself app, kind of going off the trend of just do-it-yourself IT. So basically it would be company-specific, so you go and you implement this app. It allows companies to implement new systems on their own. If a problem were to arise, you can contact GreenEcho directly through the app and kind of does some problem solving through that. Here's just kind of the interface of it, just a little bit of idea. You have just a login page, and then Robert's going to kind of go over a little bit of just some in-app designs that we made to just kind of support the ideas of it there. So,
all right, so this is kind of like basically like a skeleton T app design idea. So we just like have a dashboard that can potentially change between organizations. This would be a manual that would go into installing the various aspects of the systems or not, like an appendix. This would be the kind of live support page there, and then there's these potential live updates that you could do to help facilitate communication between the user and yourself. And so you can kind of have these notifications that make it really obvious what you're talking about. There you go.
So in doing all of this, obviously we made ourselves pretty clear the goal would be to sell the company. But you can't do that without gaining momentum, gaining your reputation, making yourself known. By doing this through becoming the face of this new technology. Once you do that, you're going to gain capabilities that nobody else has in the industry. By focusing your work and becoming less opportunistic and really gaining expertise in these fields. And not only that, through proprietary technology, so already through Thirst, and then creating another do-it-yourself app where, yes, it would be a lot of resources, but it's really before the trend. So kind of being the first on that market. And this quote right here is from a Harvard Business Review. Earnings growth has a strong effect on value creation. So naturally, these things will take care of themselves. So if you earn more revenue, each year, you're going to create more value for a potential buyer. So this is kind of the overview of what we have again. So ultimate goal would be to sell. You do this through establishing your reputation, gaining capabilities that nobody else has. You can do this through two streams. Your service side, which you're already doing, follow those trends, but become better at them. And then not only that, creating these products that other people want, having something that potential buyers want from you. And then ultimately, you're going to gain momentum, capabilities, and then have your proprietary technology. So that concludes our quick
Yes, nice guys, thank you. Questions for this team, comments, thoughts?
Can you elaborate a little bit more on the app component to it?
So the idea behind the app is we are thinking that you make a bare bones, not bare bones, the wrong word. It's basically you'd have a mold, so you could quickly create these apps that have a pretty high degree of flexibility and customization ability. I don't even know if that's a word, but basically you could go into one of these organizations, use this template, make a relatively quick app for cheap, and you could perhaps.
So framework.
Yes, sir.
Guys, what kind of timeline were you imagining your proposal taking? This developing a reputation, developing out a new stream of work, how long is that going to take?
definitely time. Yeah, it's not something that next week can happen. Within 5 years, I guess, is what it's going to take some time to get the ball rolling, and building reputation naturally takes a long time as well.
Especially just trying to build that relationship and with that tech company. I mean, we used IBM just because they're such a well-known and big tech company. But I mean, building that relationship with them and then trying to commercialize basically the technology, new technology that's coming in. I mean, we kind of looked into a little bit of drone delivery to see how that's going, and just thought it's interesting. Like, what if the company specialized in drone delivery through that, but you just did the commercializing of it instead of focusing on like developing that technology? You just commercialize that for a firm that already has that technology. That's not so great at that part of it. So
Nice. Thank you, guys. All right. Deckard. You can join me here if you like. I'm sorry. I've got.
And the edge over the competition in this space to perform well and become an expert in this area.
As this plan developed, there were three concerns we knew that you would want us to address. The first being the financial. As a business, obviously, you want to stay in the black and secure. We will accomplish this through having consistent inflows of cash through your current Salesforce, Thirst, and similar platforms. However, there will be bumps in revenue as you increase merger and acquisition and eventually business intelligence as time progresses. The second would be customers. Even though this is a narrowing focused strategy, that does not mean that your client base is going to shrink in any way. This is purely to enhance business for your current Salesforce clients and expand for your merger and acquisition clients. Finally, competition. We looked at two of your Dallas-based competitions, TechGene and AppShark, both of which had tech consulting expertise, but they couldn't compete with you when it came to business consulting. This gives you an advantage because you can marry the two, which is vital to merger and acquisition. Also, your location is prime, both for banking and for oil. Banking, you've got offices in both Dallas and North Carolina, two main banking hubs in the United States. And we're in Texas, oil is very important to our economy. If you can leverage these locations, you will master this merger acquisition.
So we've addressed the risks and we believe in the immense potential for our plan in your company. By 2018, it is projected that Salesforce alone will account for $152 billion in the United States GDP. So that means that your current Salesforce clients are secure.
I mean, as far as mergers and acquisitions go, 75% of U.S. executives anticipate having an M&A deal within the next year, and 45% of those executives have 5 or more deals in the works as is right now. That's a lot of potential to tap into. Finally, $37.9 billion in revenue is spent on business intelligence this year. That is expected to grow as the years continue. These three trends show the 3-tier plan will be a good investment for the continued success of the company.
And to continue the success, you have to take some first steps to get into this plan. So first, we would have to modify your corporate structure a bit. You really want to make sure that your guys that have business intelligence, that background, are focused on the consulting and the M&A space. And then obviously continue with your Salesforce side as well. So you have kind of two-tier side to your business. And then second, as many of you suggested, just modifying your website to focus on this new direction. Tailor it down so customers know exactly where our focus is. And then lastly, contacting potential M&A clients, because this is a trend that is on the rise and should certainly be taken advantage of as soon as possible. With that, we think that our three-tier plan will be a success for GreenEcho.
That concludes the presentation. Thank you so much for listening to our plan. It's been a pleasure working with the company this semester.
Yeah, I like the M&A plan, and we do some of that now, but confusion breeds opportunity, and M&A generates massive confusion. And just by virtue of trying to slam two companies together, or a big company taking over a small company, or even a small company taking over a big company. So, yeah, that's always, when you talk about consulting services, deal flow is always important, and M&A creates a constant deal flow of confusion.
Thank you, guys.
For your customers right now. So we create a 4-step plan that will help us achieve that goal of $50 million company.
Okay, so we think our new identity be tailored towards creating new software solutions and consulting for sales and marketing of companies. So this can be things like developing a new website for a company to big data management. So the goal really is to bring in more customers to companies. We think that this would go very well, it'd be very well complemented by the Salesforce that you currently do business with, because Salesforce is managing the current customers. So we think bringing in customers and managing them go hand in hand, and I think they'll be able to generate revenue for each other in the future. And so step 2, in order to have this new sales and marketing identity, we're going to need to acquire some new and senior talent for sales and marketing. So the main way to do this still is just going to be networking through LinkedIn, your current business contacts, and that's the main way to find them. But the way you're going to hire them is you're going to have to sell your business to them. Why are they going to move from the current job that they have to your job? So this is things like offering some good benefits packages. This is also, you got to sell your company's culture. Let them know that they're going to be able to fit in. Show them that they're going to have job security, that your business will still be around in 5 years. Let them know what your job plan is, and show them where you think your company is going to be in, say, the next 5-10 years. We think this will go a long way towards acquiring talent.
And to go along with that, our third step is to implement a training program. This is to invest in the continued professional development of all your employees. We found that this leads to improved employee morale, higher customer satisfaction, and faster growth. And in 2015, the average tech company spent $2,000 per year on training its employees. And then Forbes produced a list of the top 100 companies, and they had employee development as a top strategic priority. So we feel like a 15 to 30 day program, or wherever you see fit, to train your employees, and that will also lead to higher retention, because one of the biggest costs is having to rehire an employee that leaves the company. So we think a training program is a key step. And then also to increase the research and development. So create more profitable tools like Thirst that go along to help companies with sales and marketing. As you grow, you have to spend more time and money in that area. We think an interesting way to do this is to invest in startup tech companies that complement what you currently do with Salesforce. And that is a cool way to outsource research and development to them. So you invest in them for equity in their business in the short term. You get new ideas and new innovations in the long term. You have potential to increase your market share. So this is a chart, venture capitalist deals, The most common deal is with the software companies. New startup companies owns the market for venture capitalists. So we think that's a great way to outsource your R&D to startup companies.
So after that, we think GreenEcho should have a target market. Our target market are mid to large size companies that are willing to expend more than 10% of their revenue in marketing and sales. This is very important because they want to have a consulting company that helps them implement the new technologies we are developing. You should ask yourself, like you maybe are asking yourself, why invest in that? We can see here a very popular company you already know and work with, Salesforce, invested over 53% of their revenue in 2014, which creates an increase in a growth of 33% in their sales. So and also they acquire a 16% in CRM business. So I think this is really proven that investing in marketing and sales is important and it's profitable. So we encourage to implement our 4-step plan by creating an identity, acquiring new talent, implementing a training plan, and investing in research and development. Thank you.
Right?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for any business is finding talent, hiring talent, and retaining talent. So Richard Branson's the CEO of Virgin America, answered a question that somebody posed and said, who said, what if we train our people so much and then they leave? He said, well, what if we don't train them to stay? So it's a different way to look at this, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
As Greg Blunt said, we in class, talent attracts talent. So with this increased growth from all getting these new contracts comes that increased talent because more talent will be attracted to GreenEcho as it grows, as it gets a better reputation.
And lastly, we want to talk about why should we go into the government. And so we kind of had a quick brief overview of like the financial reasons and the opportunities in growth. And kind of as Justin mentioned, there's a newspaper that did an investigation and just kind of seen that there's basically no bidding in the government, and so that whatever price was there was ranging from anywhere upwards. I think the lower end was $100 an hour for the people working in those things, and those contracts were lasting 1 to 6 years. And so there's lots of financial reasons, but also there's a really cool opportunity for GreenEcho to not only make a lot of money, but impact the people that they're working for. And so if by working for the government and by serving them, they can improve the government systems and then in turn help serve the population in a way. And so since the government serves the population by doing that, improving their not only IT systems, but their strategy and things like that, GreenEcho would not only be able to help the government making money in doing so, but also help the people that they're in community with. And so the second kind of big point away from the financial reasons is that they have this opportunity to move away from just IT administration. I think one of the strengths of GreenEcho is all the business expertise you have and the experience that you have in many different fields. And so being able to move away from just IT administration and into more of the strategy in terms of government is something that not only is appealing, I think would be more interesting, but also pays better. It's kind of the top tier in consulting, especially in the government side. And so in doing this strategic consulting, kind of what it came down to is helping these public institutions, these governments, build and create kind of strategies to maintain and to improve their systems. And so doing those strategies, I think, again, would be also very interesting, but also make a lot more money since it's kind of that top tier. And so in order to do that, you'd have to start in the IT administration, which I think you have the capabilities to do right now. And so just kind of in conclusion, we want to wrap this up. The government has I think it was $70 to $80 billion of potential revenue in the IT consulting business, and so especially in the Texas government, there's a lot of money. We did that same article that we were looking at had the top 10 clients from one company were making, the top 10 employees from one company working for the Texas government were making over $10 million combined over a course of 5 years, and so that was a lot of money. They were getting paid extremely well, and so again, going to the government can not only give you financial incentives, but also allow you to impact the public. And so those are kind of our quick points in our short presentation. And so if you guys have any questions, we'd love to answer those.
What level of government would you guys aim for? State, local, federal, and why?
We think starting with state is, the start. Texas, there's a lot of, since GreenEcho is a Texas-based company, that's a lot of opportunity there. There were hundreds and hundreds of companies and contracts given out that we found in this article. There's a lot of opportunity there. I think it's a great starting point, and why not just keep trying to grow, getting those federal contracts down the road and maybe international contracts.
I have a question. Normally, the government has the stigma of just taking the bottom bid and not really wanting. How do you suggest? I mean, we're not just wanting to have the sales; we want the profit. So, how do you suggest us going after the government in that way?
Yeah, that's great. The research article we mentioned, there was a newspaper that they basically were doing an investigation because the government was spending a lot of money in consulting, but there was no bidding war. And so you're right, and the government is required by law to take the lowest offer to them, but there wasn't competition there for that, and so there wasn't this, hey, we'll do it for $100, we'll do it for $90, and then so forth, and to try and grade it. The lowest, we searched through, and I think there was over 100 pages of information about how much people were being paid. The lowest that we found was $92 an hour for consulting work. And so I think Dr. Norris or Mr. Norris said something about, I think, $50 an hour to be profitable is in most cases. We didn't quite research that, but so you're right in that sense. There's kind of always that risk there, but from at least in the Texas government, this investigation that we found that there was no bidding in this fragmented market. So that was the appeal there.
I'm sorry, guys, we're out of time, so let's give them a hand.
Morning, guys. I'm Forrest Smith. We're going to start things off by talking about the mission and vision that we came up with for GreenEcho. Basically, we want to provide the utmost quality in IT services to clients by implementing and tailoring the IT network around the client company's infrastructure and providing prompt customer assistance with any future problems. And our vision, we want to become the most preeminent IT network servicing firm that is going to focus and satisfy lucrative clients while evolving its methods to keep up with changing technological advancements.
So in our executive summary, we are going to be using a focus strategy to primarily serve technology-heavy industries or highly high-tech clients in high-margin industries. So we're going to be the best of the best. We want to be the gold standard of IT consulting. We want our name to be synonymous with IT consultation, quality, good service, be a gold star. So our marketing campaign would be designed around highlighting that brand and rebranding GreenEcho as that, kind of like the Rolex of IT. We would have an on-site personnel monitor quality control during the implementations of our systems, and have constant innovation during the creating and improving of systems. So our perfect customer for GreenEcho would be a large segmented company with not a lot of investment into the CRM sphere yet, or cloud computing, that would be disorganized due to rapid growth and has a loss in efficiency with how they develop and close sales. And what we would do is we would go into the company, offer them the option of improving their current system or creating a whole new system cloud computing system, then install and implement the software quickly and efficiently to minimize really any lead time, and also provide on-the-job training to employees by GreenEcho to increase the human capital of the company that we're working with, to kind of create more of a connection with them, to develop more of a business relationship with them.
Okay, so just kind of diving into quality control. We want to establish very accurate duration times for our project. This establishes reliability. That's key to obtaining future clients and also retaining your current clients. And we feel that we can do this by assigning project managers to every project to oversee. This ensures that the projects are going to progress properly. At the same time, it offers guidance for the consultants and anybody that you are consulting. And the project manager will be able to maneuver resources to where they're needed most in the project. Okay, so here's one market opportunity that we're researching a lot. It's the cybersecurity consultation, and that's what we feel that GreenEcho could really thrive in. It's an extremely high margin business. It's also an extremely high demand. It's where the industry is worth over $11.6 billion right now. And it's growing at an average annual rate of 8.4%, and it's projected to grow 10% this year. And we feel that they could also dive a little bit into adaptive cybersecurity, which is basically problems that solve themselves a little more. And
the program that the cybersecurity program would use AI to learn from what is introduced to the system, kind of how your immune system learns from viruses that are introduced to your body. So let's say you have a Trojan horse of a certain variety that gets introduced to the system through hacker, through opening a bad email or something like that. It would learn how to defend from that, plug up the hole, and then kind of change the code a little bit through AI to make sure that that specific kind of virus couldn't get in again. Yeah.
All right, so here's kind of a snapshot of the industry as a whole. And you can see how this is the highest industries it's demanded by. Actually, finance and insurance being the highest demanded, and actually the highest margin industries, and also healthcare and social assistance is very sought after.
Okay, and I find it imperative for GreenEcho to continue to grow. It needs to adopt an overall aggressive marketing strategy based around increasing brand recognition. If companies are going to need help, they need to know who to call, and we need to really cash out on the creativeness, the simplicity, and the memorableness of the brand GreenEcho and its logo. So we believe that we need to primarily utilize online advertisements in online journals and magazines that a lot of business owners looking for new solutions to problems and new innovative ideas. They would find that in Forbes, Business Insider. So that's where we need to place advertisements for GreenEcho. And we also think it would be beneficial if GreenEcho would look into attending tech conventions and expos, just in order to get the name out there more, hand out free products with the logo on it, contact information, just really get our name out there so we can continue to grow and acquire new customers. All right, and then also, by nature of a consulting firm, their greatest asset is their human capital, and innovation stems from a consulting firm's human capital. And it is imperative for us to retain our talent once we acquire it. So we believe that engaging in a mentoring system to retain and improve valuable human capital would be a great investment for this company. It would double with the quality control. Those project managers would also in turn serve to mentor the entry-level consultants, and hopefully that would allow us to develop entry-level talent into managerial talent, inspire them to become managers and to stay at the company. And we would like to really build talent with the same kind of effort and enthusiasm that we're searching for it with. And most companies that are huge companies like Google and really depend on their innovation from their human capital, they give their employees time to innovate, they give them space to innovate. So we believe it'd be beneficial if GreenEcho would look into
allowing time and opportunity for its employees to come up with new creative solutions to everyday business problems.
Yeah, and to conclude a little bit, the reasons why I think the strategy fits GreenEcho best is because, as people have said in some of the presentations before us, GreenEcho has mostly been opportunistic when searching for their potential customers. We think that a focused strategy is going to provide a good direction for GreenEcho, and they're going to actively pursue clients in these high-tech, high-margin industries, and this is going to be something that's good for them because usually those companies, even in the bad times, are still doing well enough to afford consultation. We also noticed that the website kind of, as other people have said, kind of states that y'all are a jack of all trades and you can do everything. We think if we're going to focus our strategy, we should also focus what the company does and what we advertise what the company does, so that we can kind of become specialized in specifically the services that we're offering and offer a higher level of service than I guess doing everything would get us. And also another thing that we noticed is that to ensure that the product of our work is quality and consistent, we want to employ this program management situation where consultants have somebody to report to with how well that their work is going, the progress, and then make sure that they stay on time so that we can ensure that the quality of our work is consistent in quality. And with consulting companies, human capital is going to be one of y'all's biggest things. Keeping it, improving it. Those are some huge things that we saw. And I think that if we can develop a mentoring system and try and take our entry-level candidates and put them in a higher position, because right now GreenEcho is small and you can't afford the same salaries that those big companies can offer. So you need something else there that you can rely on to make sure that you're getting the kind of human capital that you want and being able to develop it into something that works and creates more value for the company. If y'all have any questions, let me know. That's all we got for y'all though.
Any questions or comments for this team? I know we're a little late on time here. All right, guys. Did you have one? I'm sorry.
No, I just did the pervasive, talent, whether it's my company or any other big companies have the same problem. Is finding and retaining the right talent.
I do like the mentorship idea.
All right, guys. Thank you. Unless you feel strongly, here's my suggestion. Let's go ahead and dismiss the class. I know so many of them have other classes to get to, and then it'll give us a chance to be a little more, take our time talking about judging and winning. Who's winning? Well, there's a betting pool in place, right? All right. I'll see you guys at the final, and talk to you soon.
Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you.
You guys were team lead on, right? Yes, sir. There's a question about Salesforce involvement and you would let drop off and focus mainly on administration or IT.
I think so, yeah.
Thank
You guys want to talk and scheme just a little bit?
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks.
No, it's okay. Do you have, is it easy? Strong opinions?
Yeah, they all obviously put some thought in it.
A lot of great ideas.
It's very good.
Gemstone.
So the government thing, that's just that's a loser.
Really?
Yeah, because the 210 consulting companies carve out 75 of those companies. 75 of those companies do the same deals every year. And unless you're minority, women-owned, disabled, that you're not getting a contract.
Yeah.
And unless you have some very unique credentials that nobody else does, then it's the lowest cost provider. You know, all you have to do is look at the VA.
Yeah.
Okay? Every single contract the VA awards is the lowest cost provider, or minority-owned business, and their services are horrible. So for us, you know, the reason McKinsey and Booz and those guys make a ton of money, they stay at the nobody else does what we do level, and they charge an immense amount of money.
Right.
Because you can't, you know, you can go find it, but a boutique firm can't compete against them. It's just like trying to break into ExxonMobil, right? And they're locked down by Accenture. So the government's the same way. It's just, could we do it? Yeah. The cybersecurity one is absolutely a hot spot. They nailed it right there. I mean, you can throw up a page on your website and say you're in that business and you get 5 people calling. And the problem is hiring talent in the cybersecurity space. And because typically those people are not customer-facing, client engagement people. They are, they're those type of people.
Deep nerd.
Yeah, and the other thing is finding there's not enough of them.
Yeah.
And you know, there's companies like Symantec and McAfee and IBM, and they're all trying to hire as many as they can. And now with Trump and his new H-1B visa approach, which is going to be the elimination of that, then a lot of 20,000 technical resources are going to go away. They're foreign resources, so it's going to be more constrained.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a very high demand market. It's not going anywhere. It's going to continue to grow. The gemstone one is probably the most tenable because it's a product and it's clearly defined, and most companies need it. And you know, BI and big data is a big deal.
They definitely stood out to me.
Yeah, I mean, it was if I was somebody that was going to write a check, that's the easiest one to buy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, okay, I can see what that is. I can buy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a fixed duration of work that we would associate with it. So yeah, I thought it was the most polished one.
What do you think about the merger and acquisition team, Chris?
It's a niche, and the thing with M&A, people don't advertise they're doing M&A, you know, because by virtue of confidentiality. And so, and typically M&A resources come through the accounting firm that's supporting the M&A. So if Ernst & Young is doing the financial due diligence, then any type of downstream integration work will come through that same firm. So it's not like they go, okay, now we got to go hire GreenEcho to help us. So it's a little bit more of a challenge.
Mm-hmm. So
my thought is gemstone, in my opinion.
Gemstone for at least one of our winners. Do you have a kind of a second?
I only brought two awards.
Oh, okay.
One for one class.
All right.
That's what you
Totally
told me,
fine.
right?
Doesn't matter. It's all good.
You said.
So we have the two classes, right? So we're about to see another set.
So I have two classes.
Perfect.
But I didn't bring awards for more
It's
than
okay.
15 in one
Fine.
class.
It's all good.
Did I do it wrong?
No, it's okay. Don't put another thought into it. All right, so it's Forrest, Jillian, and David with Gemstone, the Deckard team.
I want to say one of the best speakers was Luke on the first team. Just that stood out to me. It's really good.
Nice. I appreciate these comments.
You can tell which teams had the MIS degrees in them. First one, right? First team had a student.
Off the top of my head, I don't know. Yeah, I'll keep track. I did actually like, I mean, just from a presentation standpoint, the Pristine, the three girls, A, very well practiced, well spoken. B, supporting everything they said with the data, which is one of my hang-ups, and I kind of push them pretty hard. Don't come up here and just make assertions we can't support, like our last team did.
Yeah.
Tons of assertions without support.
Last two teams.
So I appreciated them. I felt it kind of stood out, even though M&A may not be the most attractive segment. I thought they did a good job. All right, cool. Well, I will let the next team in then. You can hold on to those for now if you want. Do you want, so there's a couple of ways we can handle it. Do you have any interest in trying to do this personally?
Not particularly. You might have to drive back down.
All right. Just checking.
If I need to, I can.
Well, ask Dan to come do it. He's the one that set this whole
Oh, he's
program
so
up.
stupid, Dave, right now.
It fucking pisses me off. It really does. And he doesn't, he puts this whole thing together and he shows up once and he doesn't show up again. So, it's just ridiculous.
Well, thank you for filming.
Oh, sure. Well, for pretty much.
The teams, I think, I gave them a little sermon in the last class. I said, I know you guys are soaked up to here with end of semester assignments, prepping for finals. You get up here, you get nervous, but I don't want you to think about this.
They didn't, some of them seem nervous at all.
They held it together really well. They are seniors, but I said, this isn't about me. This is about the company, and I was trying to help them. So think about it as for them, not for you. I can see a few of them. I probably know them a little better, but I see a few of them being quite nervous. But I think they did really well.
They obviously spent the time.
All right, well, I'll let the next team in. I'm going to write up their schedule here. And I've been recording this whole time.
Is that bad?